wins 34-10. Turns out that huge spread wasn't enough.
I know. I thought it was too.
Josh Allen posts 323 yards through the air with Amari Cooper hauling in a touchdown.
You mad at me because of Nick's picks? Because I got one wrong?
Yeah, you told me to take the points.
Yeah, I did. I got one wrong. This is not, it's not financial advice.
Well, I'll tell that to my kids.
Well, we'll see. 1-1 going into tonight.
Okay. Amari Cooper had a nice touchdown. Here's Josh postgame.
It looked pretty good. I mean, it's a huge shout out to him for putting in the extra hours of getting ready for this game. It's not easy being traded in the week and playing a game and playing real live reps where he played quite a bit. Shout out to him.
Okay, were you impressed by the Bills in Amari's debut?
Yeah, I mean, classic one. Everything about the Bills this season and Amari. You remember last week when everyone was throwing a little miniature parade for the Davante Adams trade, and old unpopular Nick Wright said the more important AFC East trade was Amari Cooper, the more impactful one. Brew actually agreed with me on that one because of the need that the Bills had. And the Bills fell down 10-0. And then they rolled off 34 straight points. So, yeah, of course I was impressed. The Bills are really good. And while, I mean, I'm not naming names, but some people picked the Dolphins to win the division.
Okay,
And other people picked the Jets to win the division. Oh, you think the Dolphins, if Tua was healthy, were looking A+?
Well,
you think they were looking good? You think
they had the number one offense last year. Now they can't do anything.
All right, that's fine.
Also, Tua's coming back.
Tua will be back.
And so, the Bills are really good.
Are they really good? Like really good?
I mean, they're 5-2,
They're what they always have
when
been.
they're rolling, but they're always really good. They're just not. They're not good enough, but they're really good.
They're good.
Like, here's the thing. People, and I'm one of them, but people kill the Bills for not being able to do what nobody can do, which is beat the Chiefs. If the standard is, can you beat the Chiefs? Two teams can say yes. One of them, the guy retired and now broadcasts for us. And the other one, Joe Burrow, the team seemingly has no interest in fielding a competent defense. So nobody can beat the Chiefs. But the Bills are really good, and their biggest weakness was outside receiver, and they addressed it with Amari Cooper. So, yeah, I was impressed. I thought they were really good.
Yeah, it was impressive. I mean, and like you said, you said it before, they lost to the Bengals and, in the playoffs as well. So it's not just the Chiefs. But, again, I think they looked terrible in the first half. That was, I don't know what was going on. They're down 10-7 at halftime. And then they just took off. And, yeah, Amari was great. Josh Allen, this is kind of what we've been wanting to see from him. He threw it 33 times, which isn't a ton, but it's his season high for attempts. And, obviously, he threw for over 300 yards. So I'm glad to see them. They're going to open it up more. I'm sure Amari was somewhat uncomfortable. Like on his touchdown pass, he had the rookie, Keon Coleman, had to tell him, where to go. And so, yeah, this is going to make them better again. I think it puts them up there with the Houston Texans, right below the Chiefs and the Ravens.
Yeah, I was very impressed. I think what's most impressive is what it's going to do, not only for Josh, but for the other guys, Coleman, Shakir, the tight ends, like that offensive passing game, because Josh was already very effective early in this season. Now you give him a bona fide number one threat to opposing defenses. You have to respect Amari Cooper. Regardless if he knows the plays or not, you know what he's capable of. And so that knocks everyone down to being covered by a number 2, a number 3, a number 4 defender. And
everything fits better.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
this
like
is just,
and
you don't have the idea of a quarterback that has to force feed a guy.
Mahomes, not good, except that he salted the game away and made clutch play after clutch play, and the Chiefs are still undefeated. Here's Patrick postgame.
I don't want to say it doesn't come easily because we're winning games against good teams by a good amount of points, and that's as easy as that's easy for the NFL. But I just don't think it's normal for what you've seen from us because there's not a lot of passing touchdowns. There's been a lot of turnovers, especially by me. And so I think it's just showing the versatility of our team. It's not just about me. It's not just about the stats and the light show and stuff like that. It's about playing team football. And I believe that if we continue to work, we'll get better offensively, throwing the ball down the field. But until then, it's nice to know that we have a great running game. We got a great defense. And we're able to execute whenever the time comes to win football games.
Okay. Mahomes yesterday, not great, but again, he won. Passer rating is a career low, but we
How many
They'll have-
truck sticks of
Just,
safeties?
I think just one.
Okay.
And one shot to the neck that he
Yeah.
received, and one truck stick.
Yeah.
We also have 4 banners. I don't know if these are all for the
Can't wait
Chiefs.
to see these.
Sometimes you sneak a Bills one in there, but
Sometimes I sneak a now hiring Jets one in there, and the next week the guy gets fired. You never know. The banners are forward thinking. What's up?
how
AW?
much credit does Mahomes deserve for the win?
Oh, we'll get to Patrick Mahomes in a moment. But first, let me say this. This was a perfect Chiefs win. And Brew doesn't like when I use the word perfect. I throw it around sometimes.
Well,
Last week I threw it around, and he was like, well, it wasn't actually perfect in this regard. This was a perfect Chiefs win. Because the defense, once again, reminded everyone, and they will quickly forget or not care or just wish it weren't true, so pretend it isn't. They're the best defense in the league by a mile. They shut down the opposing team's best running back. They shut down the opposing team's best receiver. Yesterday, obviously, the best receiver got hurt, but they've done it all year. And they make Brock Purdy look, like, I don't know, you guys, is pumpkins around here anywhere? I don't know. Also, the league's.
horrible take. Those are good
Okay,
takes in
that's
the one.
fine. I'm
We're
just
cooking for a
listen,
minute, but-
if you think that Brock Purdy played well, that's fine.
He
I think
didn't.
he played terribly.
He did.
He played it.
They
Him and
also-
Mahomes are right there.
Yeah, oh, is that what you think? Because I saw Patrick Mahomes make the game-winning plays.
I agree with that. I'm just saying you can't say Brock Purdy played horrible because he had one more
No,
interception than
it's not,
Mahomes.
it's not one more interception. It's infinitely fewer game-winning plays. That's what it was. He didn't have. He didn't
he's
have any
like
of the
every
great
other
moments.
quarterback in the NFL.
That's fine. We can
Except
talk
Mahomes.
about Brock Purdy in a moment. I'll get to Mahomes in a second. But it's to go along with the best defense is, of course, the best coaching staff, which once again put Kyle Shanahan and his crew in the
That's the
blender.
problem.
Whether it was Spags or Andy Reid, put them in the blender. And then, as almost an embarrassment of riches, it's like, oh yeah, also the league's best special teams. A kicker who never misses kicks, throw McCole Hardman back there for punt returns when you need a big spark. So you have all of that, and then you have Patrick, who is the league's best quarterback but is not playing like it, except for, of course, when he has to. Or, as it used to be the case, I think, with the Incredible Hulk, when you make him angry. Because here's the story of yesterday's
wasn't-
game,
I watched the
which
Incredible
was Malik Collins hit him in the throat. And the Chiefs who get all the calls, and Patrick Mahomes who's protected, the ref looking right at it. It's like, seems like a fair football play.
He almost did it, too. You see,
He
he's
almost
like,
did it, and he's like, whatever, who cares? And so then Patrick Mahomes cooks the best defensive player in football, not named Chris Jones, Fred Warner, cooks 53 because he thinks you can throw a forward pass 10 yards downfield, then gets to the sideline. And then at the end of it, he says, hey, Mustafa, have some of this.
So good.
By the way, it's a 2-point game. It's 4th down. It's the 4th quarter. If he doesn't score there, they might lose. And so, how much credit does Patrick Mahomes deserve for the win? Just enough to get the win. And also a reminder that, man, show muscles ain't real muscles. And there's grown man stuff a character has, because that's what we learned yesterday. That body is better than that body in the NFL.
Wow.
Maybe not on IG, and maybe not when you're competing with Greg Jennings for Mr. Olympia, but when it comes to winning football plays, that one is greater than that one, Broussard.
Woo. Let me say this, too. Mustafa had 2 huge hits earlier in the game. I don't know if you remember the 2 huge hits. And then, so that made it even more
Was
impressive.
one on Xavier Worthy?
One was on Worthy.
The one
where
that
they
knocked
thought he
I
had
grade that one in the curve.
Knocked Worthy.
No, but then there was one
graded that one
before
on the
that.
curve.
Yes.
There was, like, he had
and
2
Mustafa,
great
by the way,
hits.
is a good player, and it's not his fault that he literally ran into the greatest player ever. It's just not his fault.
That was impressive by Mahomes. Look, Mahomes deserves a ton. And I'm going to first start by Andy Reid, and you alluded to it, coach circles. And Spagnuolo, of course, is the one facing Kyle Shanahan's offense. But Andy Reid, with that depleted, because obviously the Niners were depleted with skilled position players, but so were the Chiefs, Juju, and all that stuff. And for a while, even without Xavier Worthy, the jet sweeps and all the stuff he was running, it just looked like, and Shanahan obviously is a great offensive mind. Andy Reid looked like he was on another level.
Yeah.
And that is a huge, as great as Mahomes is, and I think he's the best ever, Andy Reid is a huge part of why they're still able to win, even with Mahomes struggling the way he is. So their coaching staff has to get credit. But Mahomes deserves a ton. Look, he is, the stats look terrible from yesterday. And the stats look terrible for this season.
Yeah.
I know he must look at his stats and just be embarrassed.
Yeah, here are the ranks, if you have the rank stats. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, they're
QB wins.
this is like LeBron averaging 13 and 4 in his prime. I mean, this is incredible what he's doing.
With with half of the games ending on a made buzzer beater, though. That's the difference.
But not by him.
No, it is by him.
Some of them are by him, some of them are defense. But here's the thing. Even 13 and 4, I don't care if he hit game winners. It's still. But Patrick Mahomes is just a winner. That's just all there is to it. And we're going to get into Purdy in a few. I kind of feel like, I know you probably do, and I think people around the NFL, players that they have to face, are starting to feel this. Whatever Mahomes would have had to do to win that game, like if